Now let's start with question number 1 of exercise 5.1 of arithmetic progression. Now first question says, in which of the following situations does the list of numbers involved make an arithmetic progression and why? Here few statements are given to you in this question, and after converting each statement in the sequence form, you have to check whether the given sequence is an arithmetic progression or not. Now it says here, the taxi fare after each kilometer, when the fare is rupees 15 for the first kilometer and rupees 8 for each additional kilometer. This is a statement given to you. First, you have to convert it in the form of sequence by writing 3-4 terms. Minimum 3 terms are required. If you want, you can write more terms as well. So minimum 3 are definitely required to check whether the given sequence is an AP or not. So the first term of this AP will be how much? The taxi fare after each kilometer, when the fare is rupees 15 for the first kilometer. So first term will be 15 and rupees 8 for each additional kilometer. So it means the second term will be 15 plus 8, which is equal to 23. Next term will be 23 plus 8, which is equal to 31. Next term will be 31 plus 8 equal to 39. So that means the sequence formed is 15, 23, 31, 39 and so on. So you can very easily check here whether it is an AP or not. Now what definition we have learnt about an AP? That the difference between two consecutive terms always remain the same in an AP. So it means if I subtract the first term from the second term, I am getting 8. If I subtract second term from the third term, again I am getting 8. Then similarly, third term from the fourth term, if I subtract, I am getting 8. It means if I am subtracting any two consecutive terms, my answer is coming out to be the same. Hence, the given statement shows that this is an AP. Okay, so here taxi fare is 15, after 2 kilometers 23, 3 kilometers 31, sequence is this, and hence it is an arithmetic progression. Now the second part of question number 1 is the amount of air present in a cylinder when a vacuum pump removes 1/4 of the air remaining in the cylinder at a time. So initially, suppose that in the cylinder, the volume of the air present in the cylinder is capital V, okay, cubic centimeter or whatever. So V is the amount of air present in the cylinder. Now the vacuum pump removes 1/4 of the air remaining in the cylinder at a time. So right now, how much air is there in the cylinder? It is V. So I have to remove 1/4 of this air from the given cylinder. So what is V minus 1 upon 4V? V minus 1 upon 4V will give you 4V minus 1V, which is equal to 3/4V. Okay, so this is now the remaining air. What is the air left in the cylinder now? 3V upon 4. Now what do I have to subtract from this? 1/4 of the air remaining in the cylinder. That is this. How much air is remaining in the cylinder now? 3V/4. Now I have to remove 1/4 of this air. That will give me 3/4V minus 3/16V, which will give you 12 minus 3V, that is equal to 9/16V. So we have already got 3 terms now. The first term means what was the original amount of air present in the cylinder? It was V. Second is 3V/4. Third term will be 9/16V and so on. As I told you, for checking whether it is an AP or not, minimum 3 terms are required. So let us find out the difference between two consecutive terms. second term minus first term. 3v upon 4 minus v gives you 3v minus 4v, which is equal to minus v upon 4. Similarly, when I subtract 9 by 16v minus 3 by 4v, then LCM will be 16. You will get 9v minus 12v, which is equal to minus 3v by 4. So this answer and this answer are not coming out to be same. It means that this sequence is not an arithmetic progression. Okay, so as you can see from here, amount of air left in the pump is 3v by 4. Second case, it will be 9 by 16v. So the sequence obtained is this, and hence we can see the difference between the terms is not the same, and hence it is not an AP. Now the third part of question number 1 is the cost of digging a well after every meter of digging, when it costs rupees 150 for the first meter and rises by rupees 50 for every subsequent meter. It means for 1 meter, what is the cost of digging? It is rupees 150. For the second meter, the cost will increase by rupees 50. It means for the second meter, the cost of digging would be rupees 200. What is the cost of digging third meter? It will be rupees 200 plus 50, which is equal to rupees 250, and so on. So what is the sequence formed in this case? It is 150, 200, 250 and so on. So now if I have to check out whether it is an AP or not, this is my first term, second term, third term and so on. And you know what is an AP? We have to check the difference between two consecutive terms remains the same throughout the sequence or not. So what is A2 minus A1? We will not write A1 minus A2. We always subtract first term from the second term from the third term and so on. So it is 200 minus 150, which is equal to 50. Similarly, A3 minus A2 will also be 250 minus 200, that is also equal to rupees 50, which is coming out to be the same. Hence, the given statement, the sequence which is formed by converting the given statement in the form of a sequence will be an AP. The next question is the fourth part. The amount of money in the account every year when rupees 10,000 is deposited at compound interest at 8% per annum. If you remember, in class 8 we have studied about simple interest and compound interest. So at that time you were told the difference between simple interest and compound interest. That simple interest remains the same throughout the year. Means for as many years as you have to find, it will remain the same. Whereas the compound interest, it keeps on increasing every year. If it is calculated annually, so it keeps on increasing every year. So amount in this case will remain the same, whereas in case of compound interest, amount will also keep on increasing. Now we have to check out whether this statement will form an AP or not. Now you remember the formula. What is the formula for the amount? So amount after first year will be P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to the power N. Principal is 10,000 into 1 plus 8 upon 100 raised to the power 1. That is equal to 10,000 into, here you will get 27 upon 25. When you cancel it out, you will get here it is to be 400. So it is 10,800. This is the amount after first year. Now let us see what is the amount after second year. It is A2, amount after second year. For the second year, it will be P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to the power N. Now you remember we say the amount after first year will become the principal for the second year. So in this case, principal taken will be 10,800 and not 10,000. So 1 plus r upon 100, that is 8 upon 100 raised to the power 1. We are not finding after 2 years, we are finding for the second year. What is the amount for the second year? So it is 10,800 into 1 plus 2 by 25. That gives us 10,800 into 27 upon 25. Now when I cancel it out, I will get here 432, which will be equal to 11664. So this is the amount for the second year. This is the amount for the first year. Now let us see one more for the third year. Now what is the amount for the third year? Again, it is P into 1 plus R upon 100 raised to the power n. See, if I had to find out the amount for 2 years, I would have taken the time period as 2 here. Similarly, if I have to find the amount for 3 years, I will take the time period as 3 here. But here I have to find only the amount for the third year. So the amount after the second year will become the principal for the third year. That means 11664 into 1 plus 8 upon 100 raised to the power 1, which gives you 2 upon 25 here. 11664 into 27 upon 25. So when we we can't cancel it out, directly multiply, and we will get here 314928 divided by 25, which on division gives us 12,597.12 rupees. Now let us check out the amounts for 3 years. After first year, amount was 10,800. For the second year, the amount was 11664, and for the third year the amount is 12,597.12. Now we have to check out whether it is forming an AP or not. So let's write A2 minus A1, which is 11664 minus 10,800, which gives you 864, whereas A3 minus A2 will be 12,597.12 minus 11664, and that will come out to be 933.12. So as you can see, the difference between two consecutive terms is not coming out to be the same everywhere. Hence, the given statement will not form an AP. Clear? Now, moving on to the next question, that is question number 2. Here, write the first 4 terms of an AP when the first term and the common difference are given to you. So, if I take the first part here, A is equal to 10, D is equal to 10. The first term is given and common difference is given. Remember children, there are 2 things which you have to remember. One is, if the first term and the common difference are given to you, you can always create a complete AP. On the other hand, if an AP is given to you, you can always find out the first term and the common difference. So you should be able to do the questions both ways. So the first way we are doing is, when A and D are given, how will you form an AP? Here in this question, you have to find the first 4 terms of an AP. So obviously the first term here will be 10 only. Second term, how will you obtain the second term? A2 will be the first term plus the common difference, that is 10, which will give you 20. A3, the third term will be the previous term, which is 20, plus the common difference, which is 10, that will give you 30. Fourth term again is the previous term, which is 30, plus the common difference 10, which will give you 40. So question number 2 is otherwise very simple. All the questions can be done in the same manner. Now we'll move on to question number 3. Question number 3 says, for the following APs, write the first term and the common difference. As I told you just now, so that if the sequence is given to you, the AP, and if they say it is an AP, see there is a difference. Suppose, if you read the question carefully, it says, for the following APs, write the first term and the common difference. It means it is an AP is already given to us. This sequence is already an AP given to us. If it is not given to be an AP, then we have to find out the difference between all the consecutive terms and check first whether it is an AP or not, and then we find out the common difference. But here, because it is already given to be an AP, we need not do such a long procedure. We will just pick up any two consecutive terms. See, there are four terms given: A1, A2, A3 and A4. If I have to find the common difference, I will either take A2 minus A1, which will give me 1 minus 3, which is equal to minus 2. Or I can also find out D by saying A3 minus A2, which is minus 1 minus 1, which is again minus 2. Or I could also find it out by A4 minus A3, which is equal to minus 3 minus minus 1, that is minus 3 plus 1, which is equal to minus 2. As you can see, D is coming out to be the same throughout. We need not even verify it because the question already says it is an AP. Hence, we need not find all of them. And just for showing it to you, I have done all the three. You can do it by any one of the three. You can use this one, or this one. Just pick up any two consecutive terms and then subtract them and get the common difference. So what is the first term in this case? 3, and the common difference is minus 2. Now after question 3, let's start with question number 4 of exercise 5.1. Now it says, which of the following are APs? If they form an AP, find the common difference and write 3 more terms. You will be able to write common difference only if the given sequence is an AP. So first we need to check out whether the given sequence is an AP or not. So the first example I am taking, the first part, though it is very simple, but anyway let's start with the first part only. So what did I tell you? What is an AP? AP is a sequence in which the difference between two consecutive terms always remain the same. So here this is your A1, A2, A3 and A4. So we need to check out for all of them, all the terms which are given to us. So A2 minus A1 will give us 2, A3 minus A2 will give us 8 minus 4 equal to 4. Now in this situation, in the beginning itself you came to know the difference is not coming out to be the same. So there is no point in doing it further. So what you can say as the difference between two consecutive terms is not the same. Between the two consecutive terms is not the same, therefore it is not an AP. This is not an AP. So when it is not an AP, we need not find the common difference, and similarly we need not even find the next 4 terms of the given AP. Let's take a slightly different example which you might find some difficulty maybe. Let's take the 12th part of question number 4. It is root 2, root 8, root 18 and root 32 and so on. Now we don't know whether they form an AP or not. We need to check out A1, A2, A3, A4. Now what is A2 minus A1? It will be root 8 minus root 2. They cannot be subtracted as such because the irrational part is not the same. But we all know we can always write on the simplified form of root 8, which will be 2 root 2 minus root 2. Now we can subtract them. 2 root 2 minus 1 root 2 will be equal to 1 root 2 only. Similarly, A3 minus A2 is root 18 minus root 8. See, if you will not write the simplified form, just by looking at these expressions, you will say it is not an AP. But if you write down the simplified form and then find the difference, you might get this to be an AP. Now, root 18 is, what is the simplified form? It is 3 root 2. And root 8 simplified form is 2 root 2. So 3 root 2 minus 2 root 2 gives you again root 2. Similarly, A4 minus A3 gives us root 32 minus root 18. Root 32 simplified form is 4 root 2 and root 18 is 3 root 2, which again gives us root 2. So can we say the given sequence is an AP with common difference as root 2? So you can even write down the sequence in the simplified form as root 2, 2 root 2, this is 3 root 2, this is 4 root 2. So that it becomes easy for us to write further terms like A5 will be A4 plus the common difference. 4 root 2 plus root 2 will give you 5 root 2. Next term will be 5 root 2 plus root 2, that will give you 6 root 2. Seventh term will be 6 root 2 plus root 2. Why we are adding root 2 to every term? Because that is the common difference. So 8th term will be 7 root 2 plus root 2, that will be equal to 8 root 2. So this is how we can check whether the given sequence is an AP or not. I'll take one more example here of question number 4, which is I think we can take the last example, that is the 15th example of question number 4. It is 1 square, 5 square, 7 square and then 73 and so on. So this is my A1, A2, A3 and A4. So what is A2 minus A1? 5 square minus 1 square, 25 minus 1, which is equal to 24. A3 minus A2 will be 7 square minus 5 square, which is equal to 49 minus 25, that will also be equal to 24. And A4 minus A3 will be equal to 73 minus 7 square, which is equal to 73 minus 49, that is also equal to 24. Hence we can say the given sequence is an AP. Now if this is an AP, what is the common difference? Common difference is definitely 24, and then we can write down the next few terms like A5 will be 73 plus 24. Similarly, we can write down the next terms. This will come out to be 97. A6 will be 97 plus 24. It will be 121. A7 is 121 plus 24, that will be 145, and A8 will be 145 plus 24, which will be 169. So, and now one more part of question number 4, that is I will take the 11th part, which is A square, A cube, A to the power 4 and so on. So let us check out. This is your first term, second term, third term and fourth term. So what is A2 minus A1? It is A square minus A. So we can't subtract them, but at the most what we can do is we can take out A common, just write it like this, maybe it can match with the other terms. Then A3 minus A2 will give you A cube minus A square. Here what I can do, I can't subtract them, but yes, again I can take out A square common and then A minus 1. A4 minus A3 will give you A raised to the power 4, A raised to the power 4 minus A raised to the power 3. Again I can take A cube common, A minus 1. So as you can see here, the common difference is not the same, it is different in all the three cases. Hence this sequence does not form an AP, and because it doesn't form an AP, we will not find out the common difference and the next 4 terms. So this is all about our exercise 5.1.